Shalom to everyone. May the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov be upon each and every one of you. I am so happy to see you. You know, Yahweh is good. He's awesome. He has kept us. He has kept us. The enemy tried to destroy us, but he has kept us. And for that, I give him all of the praise, all of the glory. You are some awesome and some very beautiful people. I want to say before I get started today that you know that we have launched our podcast. And with the launching of our podcast, the promotion of it, and the getting out to various people is dependent upon us to do that and share it. So I would that those of you that are connected to the podcast on Podbean, Podbean, Hebrews in Exile. Hebrews in Exile is the title. So if you look for it, you won't look for it. It won't come up under First Tabernacle Fellowship. It will come up under Hebrews in Exile. If you have our app, then it's on the app under podcast. But I need you to share it with your friends. I'm trying not to be preachy, but just conversational and discuss the matters and the issues that are pertinent to the day, not just the day, but to Israel. As this particular form of where we are Hebraically doesn't resonate with everybody, that's okay. The teachings of the Most High are not for everybody, they're for Israel. And my goal is to try to wake Israel up and give them some information that they can spin around in their head and begin to understand the dynamics of what's going on. It's very difficult for me now, as I shared online last night, it's very difficult for me to be silent about matters that affect Israel in exile. I can't do the ostrich thing and stick my head in the sand as if it doesn't exist and it's not affecting me, because it is. And I want Israel to know that it is not just about black people, it's about people of color. People of color are connected to the Most High. I'm so weighted down. And some people might say, well, this arena is not supposed to be an arena for politics. Well, this is not about politics. This is about life. And this is about people's lives. Well, I guess I'm going to segue into today's parashah. Because Israel in Mitzrayim was conflicted by the politics of Pharaoh and the circumstances that weighted them down, that caused them to be miserable. And just because the narrative happens to be in Scripture, we can't disconnect it from the aspect of what it really is. It's people, it's governments, and it's the powers that come to bear upon the Father's people. The Most High put us in this situation of exile. So when I look around, as you've heard me say, it's no longer a story for me. It's no longer a, well, that's scripture. No. This has become real to me. Because I realize that the narrative is really about my ancestors, and we are a generation, all the way down from them to where we are today, and we are the product of their disobedience. We're living under the conditions that the Most High wrote and said that we would be subjected to in this exile. We are living it every day that we're not in the land. So I can no longer hold my peace. The Most High said to Moshe, go and tell the government. Who was the government? Pharaoh. Go tell the government to let my people go. Let my son go. And here's the condition, and here's the situation. We are not being held captive by the government. Got to get up. Got to get up. We are not being held captive by the government. We're being held captive by our continued reluctance to turn back to Him and His ways. Do you not know? I'm getting preachy. I don't want to get preachy. Do you not know that the instant that Israel would turn back to the ways of the Most High, we would be instantly redeemed? Bam! Over. Over. How do I know that? Because Daniel says that the Most High would be coming on a cloud. The cloud is indicative of expressing the quickness and the instantaneousness in which that something can happen. Zechariah says, O daughter of Zion, your king will come riding on a donkey. Indicative of the slowness in which the redemption would happen. But because we don't know in this exile who we are as a people at large, not just black people, people of color, and because we continue to worship idolatry, the gods of the nations to which we have been dispersed, we then fall subject and prey to the authority of the Nebuchadnezzars, the authority of the pharaohs, the authority of the governments to which we are enslaved to. And don't get it twisted. Just because we live in America does not mean that we are not enslaved. Don't count this little bit of freedom, and it's a little bit. In the land of the free and the home of the brave, you got to be brave to live here. And it ain't free. So what's the narrative here? Bo. The Parashah is Bo. Go. What does Israel need to do? This is the sad part of the narrative. In this exile of being in Mitzrayim, here in Bo, 430 years. 430 years. 430 years. Israel was subjected to the pressures of a people to whom they were not. 430. Here's our problem. We don't know what the timetable is that the Most High has for us to exist in exile. He gave Israel specific day and time. And to the day, to the exact day, He delivered them out of the pressures of where they were. We have no scripture other than the donkey and the cloud to define for us when we're going to escape this slavery. I don't know. Paro exerted more pressure upon Israel. He exerted pressure upon Israel to do more with less. And he enslaved them. He put pressure on them. He put a burden upon them. Hello? Hello? Can you not feel the pressure? Can you not feel the burden? With that, there is a sign that's being, it's like a neon sign. But the problem is that we're having a difficulty seeing the sign. The Most is like, I'm ramping up the pressure on you, Israel. Watch this now. Because your redemption is nigh. But I need you. I need somebody. I'm preaching. Let me sit down. I need somebody in Israel to be the herald to my people to prepare them for the Exodus and the redemption that I'm going to bring. I need a Mashe. And the sad part about it is that the so-called Mashes of the day are not Mashes that are connected to the Most High. The ones that are heralding and preaching the message of deliverance don't know anything about the Most High. The politicians of color don't know nothing about the Most High. Yeah. Seat's got fire in it. If the politicians of the day knew anything about the Most High, they would be exhorting Israel and the people of color to turn back to the Most High and begin to cry out to Him, turn from their wickedness of idolatry, which they don't know is idolatry, which another man's truth is another man's heresy. As I keep trying to explain, and people keep asking me all the time, so Rabbi, you mean you don't believe in Jesus Christ? No. Well, you're overthinking this. No, I'm not. There is only one power. There is only one Spirit. And He said, I don't know any others. But the heralds that are trying to lead the Father's people don't know anything about Him. And the other problem is they won't listen to anybody to whom the crowd is not following. Where's the crowd? Who's got the biggest congregation? Who's making the biggest noise? Where's the biggest dance? Where's the biggest show? Where's the biggest choir? Where's the biggest praise and worship team? Where's the bling? Let's follow the bling. And yet and still, you're under the pressure of trying to do more and don't understand why you keep hitting a brick wall. Moshe, go to the government and tell the government that the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov said, let my people go. The government said, you want me to say Paro. I'm not going to say Paro today. I'm going to be political. The government said, no. We're not going to let them go. We're going to bring greater suppression upon them. We're going to make it harder for them to live in the land. We're going to make it more difficult for them. Okay. You want to let my people go? Then I'm going to go tell Paro that I'm going to cause locusts to fill the land, that everywhere they walk, And everything they put their feet upon is going to go crunchy crunch, crunchy crunch, 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 crunch. In their houses, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, on the front porch, in the front yard, on the patio, crunchy crunch, crunchy crunch. What's the locus of the day? The locus of the day is a pandemic. That everywhere you go, you are going to be subjected to the germs that may cause you to be conflicted and die. But for Israel, who has turned back to my ways and turned back to my teachings, for Israel who's living in Goshen, because we're in Goshen. It may not look like Goshen. And you don't want me to spiritualize things, but I'm spiritualizing this because we in Goshen. Not one of Israel living under the auspices and covering of the Most High has been conflicted with COVID. Not in this house. Not in this house. Not one. Not one. Scared because we don't wear masks. We don't have COVID. We're healthy people. Why? I'm preaching. I'm sorry I got to do it today. Why? Because the Elohim that we serve told us that if you will walk in my mitzvot, if you will obey me, I will keep the plagues and the diseases of the nation away from you. That's why I didn't run and cower. You call me a hypocrite because I wouldn't cower to Nebuchadnezzar, to the government. What man of God cowers to the government? Which one? Or one that's weak. One that's afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm in Goshen. So, you're concerned about the problem. So, the locust didn't get your attention. So now, I'm going to cause a wind to come and blow the locust away, although I caused an east wind to blow them in. Good and bad come from the east. The Garden of Eden in the east. The power and the authority of the Most High blows from the east. I'm going to send a nation from the east because I want you to understand the authority of who's dealing with what. So you didn't bow, Pharaoh, to allowing my people to go with the locusts. So, and you still won't hear me. And what's the real problem here? What does Yahweh really want? All he wants is his wife. All he wants is to be sequestered with his wife. That's all. That's all. Can y'all please go so I can love on my wife? Can y'all just please just go? Can you let my wife go so I can cuddle with her? And I'm not going to do it in your presence. I want her to come out so she can worship me, be adorned by me, by feeling my presence, not the presence of an alien God. What are you going to do, y'all? Well, I'm going to stir up another issue to try to get the government's attention. I'm going to send now a variant to the locust. I'm going to send a variant. Now that says that the pandemic that I sent, y'all just went, okay. Now I'm going to send you a variant that says, I don't care what vaccine you get. I'm going to send something stronger that hasn't been tested to prove to you one thing. I just want to prove to you one thing. And you're not hearing me. I'm trying to prove to you that I am. So Israel in exile, I want you to look around. Because the final plague that I'm going to bring upon you is go tell Pharaoh, go tell the government that I am going to kill all the firstborn in your land. Firstborn in your house, firstborn in your field, firstborn of your servants, firstborn of your slave. I'm going to kill them all. And the reason why I'm going to kill your firstborn is because Israel's my firstborn. And you tried to kill my son. You tried to shut up the work of the Hebrew midwives from delivering my son. You drowned them in the water. You're shooting them down in the streets. You're hanging them on trees. You're barbecuing them like they're a piece of meat. You're treating them like they're nothing. You worship a multiplicity of gods. So let me send all your gods to you and prove to you out of your gods that I am the sole important one and only Elohim. And nobody can deliver you out of my hand. Nobody is going to deliver you out of this pandemic. Not no insulin, not no vaccine, not no doctor. It will be here until I tell it to go. And all I'm trying to do is to get you to know who you are. Turn from your wickedness. Repent. Know that I am Yah. And know that only I can stop this madness. Bo, go. Today happens to be Pesach, the Passover. What's the Passover all about? It's about delivering Israel out of slavery. We keep functioning under a narrative that has been given to us. That's what the educated pontificators say. Well, we know something's wrong with it, but this is what was given to us. Is that what they said? Is that what they said? This is what was given to us. I want you to think about that. Come on, Israel, I want you to think about it. They said this is what was given to us. If you're accepting the narrative of a religion that has been given to you, why are you fighting so hard to get out of slavery? They gave that to you too. But you're rebelling against that. But you're not rebelling against the Most High. But you're not accepting, rather, the Most High, who put you in the condition that you're in. And taking a very simple way out. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple. It's not about jumping up, spinning the pail of cotton. It's not about bouncing around, talking about this is the Holy Spirit. Talking about I'm saved now. Hello? If you're saved, how come you're still dying? If you're saved, how come the God that you're crying out to is not delivering you? I'm delivered. There's a song where you say, I'm delivered, praise the Lord. I'm delivered, praise the Lord. I'm delivered, but not praise the Lord in the context of the Lord that you're talking about. I don't walk in fear. I don't live in fear. I don't live under the umbrella of fear. I'm happy as I can be. So the Most High says to Moshe in this parashah, go talk to the government. Pharaoh was the government. Was he not the government? Was he the government? to talk to him. And what did the Most High do? He said, I'm going to harden his heart. And when he realizes, and this is the interesting part of this text, okay? Go in and read it. There's a piece in there that says, Pharaoh says, the government says, if I let you go, I know that Yahweh will be with you. Now, this is the Pharaoh that says, I don't know anything about you, but this I know, that if I let you go, Yahweh will be with you. So I tell you what, you and some men go, but you leave everybody else here, because I don't want him to be with you. Hey, class, class. Look around yourself and ask yourself a question. When is Yahweh not with you? When? When? Sidetrack, which you all know. You know, this little sidetrack. So, the birth of JC is on this manner. A virgin shall be with a child, and the child shall be born, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, God with us. You mean to tell me from Isaiah, Yeshayahu chapter 7, I got to wait 400 years for some dude to show up, for God to be with me? When was he not ever with me? You mean to tell me that during the silent years from Malachi to the crossing of some text that Yahweh wasn't with Israel? When he says in his word, my eyes are always on Israel. You mean to tell me that I got to wait 400 years for the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, who is Hebrew, to solicit the Greeks and the Romans to speak for him? And he's holy, and he doesn't lie? Think about it. Think about it. So, Bo, go. What do I need to do? I need you, Israel. Oh. How many of you know this song? It's a song. We know this song. I'm packing up, getting ready to go. Packing up, getting ready to go. Oh, packing up. I'm packing up, getting ready to go. Israel was packing up, getting ready to go. They was gathering up. Hey you Egyptians. Hey government. Hey government. Can we have some of that silver? Hey government, can we have some of that gold? Hey government, can we have some of them pearls, some of them rocks? We just want you out of here. Hey government, you've been asking us to go. You've been asking us to go home. Listen. We packing up, getting ready to go. But wait a minute. Don't be so quick to ask us to leave. Because what you don't understand, government, is that as long as we're in exile, because y'all haven't read the scriptures. I'm so glad I'm Hebrew. Y'all haven't read the scriptures. You might not want us to go quite so quick. Keep telling us to go back where we came from. Go back where y'all came from. You don't understand that as long as we're in this exile, the Most High is not executing judgment upon you. The day that we leave this exile and go back where we came from, I got to tell you something. Because the fundamental Christians don't know this. And they don't teach this. They are teaching you scare stuff. They're trying to scare you to death. My golly, going to scare you. They're going to unleash stuff on us, and we're going to lose our nation. We're going to be. Now, let me tell you something. This is what you need to be scared about. You need to be afraid that when the Most High redeems us, what's going to happen to you that the scriptures say is going to happen to you. So as long as we're in this exile, the Most High isn't executing total judgment upon you, which he said he was going to do against Gog and Magog, Greece and Rome, and the European nations. Oh, those happen to be the people who are causing all the conflict amongst the people of color. Ain't it interesting? Ain't it interesting? I'm in the Parashah. I'm still here. I ain't left it. I'm still here. Ain't it interesting that one son, Japhet, is causing all the hell for his brother, Shem? Isn't that interesting? One brother is causing all the hell for his brother, Shem. Just one. Just one. And the interesting part about it is the brother that's causing all the problems is inferior to his brother Shem. Where's Shem? Where's Shem? Where is redeemed? Where is the pre-redeemed Shem? In Goshen. In Goshen. Anybody in here been attacked? Did you go for a walk this week? Did anybody come up and push and knock you down? Did anybody pull you off to the curb and ask you what you're doing? Did any of your children, your sons, your daughters, did any of them get pulled over and get shot this week? Last month, last year? And that happened to you? I wonder why. Yeah, I'm spiritualizing this. We live in Goshen. Because for me, Goshen happens to be in the Father's Word. I'm not talking about the land. I'm talking about His Word is Goshen. His Word is the protection of where Israel lives in the midst of the government who don't like you. Why did they live in Goshen? Why didn't Joseph tell them, oh, why don't you, our ancestors, can you, Pharaoh, government, you got some plush land over here, some green land over here, and we've got herds, we've got flocks. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to offend you with the flocks that we have, because you see, the flocks that we have are the flocks that you worship, and the flocks that we have are going to be offered as sacrifices according to the scripture, and we don't want to offend you. So can we just have a place over here that's just away from you where we can live in peace, and it's green, and the green grass grows all around, and the light shines bright. Can we just be over here at Goshen? That's a good idea. Why don't you all go live in Goshen? Because, see, the government didn't understand that the 10 plagues that was going to plague them was going to fall everywhere, but it wasn't going to hit Goshen. Hey, class. Do you realize, did you wake up and realize where you are? Did you realize where you are, whose you are? Did you wake up and figure that out yet? Why are you not sick? Everybody else is. Yeah. When we go out amongst the nations of people, because we don't know who they are, we put on a mask. I don't know where they've been. I don't know where they've been around. I need to protect me from you. But I don't need to protect myself from Israel. I'll say it again. I don't need to protect myself from the people who are living in Goshen under the covering of the Most High. I don't need to protect myself from them. Y'all might not like today's lesson. I don't care. The people that are here still remain here, support the ministry, keep the lights on, keep the doors open, keep the rent man happy. And the Elohim that I serve told me, you just stay in Goshen till I deliver you, till I bring you out, till I tell you, you stay in Goshen till I tell you to leave. And if I didn't tell you to do anything else, then you do what I told. This cord's bothering me today. Can't get it to do right. Can't get the cord. Remember? Oh, no. Let's see. Cheryl, little in-house thing. Cheryl, where's Gail? Oh, Gail. Gail and Cheryl would be the only two that would know. Miss B's not here. Were you on R Street? Remember Brother Do Right? Brother Do Right, we call him Brother Do Right, because he sing a song. Got a mind to do right. 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 And this cord that I'm wearing here with this mic don't want to do right. So here we are. Most High says, okay, go tell Paro that, and go tell the government that I am going to kill people in Mitzrayim if he doesn't let you go, and he's going to harden his heart. But once I do this, there's going to be a sound of wailing in the land that has never been heard like that before. Mother, Sister Loretta, is Calvin your firstborn? So, if your firstborn son was all of a sudden killed, oh baby, oh baby, is it going to hit you right here? And many of Israel in exile, because you're not in the house. The house is a metaphor for being within the realm of the teachings of the Most High. You are crying like all of the people in Mitzrayim who lost their firstborn child. And after that, Paro said, and his government officials said, why don't you let these people go? Can't you see they're destroying us? What? Just let them go. Hey, can you just let them go? And the Most High is saying to Israel, Israel, can you just repent? So now we get down to chapter 12. Chapter 12 picks up the narrative of Israel. I'm going to do something for you. And what I'm going to do, I want you to be able to chronicle the experience. I don't ever want you to forget it. In the month of Aviv shall be the first month of the year for you. And what I want you to do is I want you to go get a lamb for every household, one that is not defiled, one who doesn't have any defects. I want you to go get it. The 10th day, and then on the 14th day, I want you and all of those with you who are a party to it, I want you to get that lamb, and on the 14th day at noon, I want you to slaughter the lamb. He says, then I want you to take the blood of this lamb and put it upon the doorpost of your house, because at midnight I'm going to strike all the firstborn of Israel, all the firstborn of Mitzrayim. So what I want you to do, I want you to slaughter this lamb, and I want you to roast this lamb, and I want you to get inside your house. I want you to make some matzah, bread without leaven. I want you to make that. But I want you to get in your house. Now, I'm going to tell you all something, okay? He says, because then when I see the blood on your doorpost, when the death angel comes, Passover. The death angel will pass over your house. But watch this now. If you happen to be outside at the time the death angel comes by, now, I want you to hear this, okay? The request for Israel to be in the house was called a what? Come on, a what? A what? A mitzvah. It was a commandment. It's a mitzvah. So if they fail to honor the mitzvot of staying in their house, they were going to be subjected to death. Now, here's the interesting part of the history of our people. There is no narrative. There is no narrative in scriptural text that says anybody in Goshen died. Is there? There's no narrative that says anybody in Goshen died when the death angel came by. Ain't that interesting? Now, why is it interesting? Why do you think that's interesting? It's interesting to me because in every other narrative that the Most High has asked Israel to do something, they rebel. Somebody has something. Oh. Honey, we're gonna have this barbecue party outside. We're gonna party till the sun go down. They weren't doing that. They got their little lambs together. They got their little meal together. And they got inside. And they was just enjoying barbecue. Because it was barbecue, you know that, don't you? They roasted it over open fire. It was barbecue. That's what you do with barbecue. They was inside their little homes, doors shut, down in Goshen, having it. Man, wow. I'm sure there was this conversation was going on inside the house. Do you hear that noise out there? Now watch this. Watch this now. Watch it now. Are we not curious people? Are we not curious? From a human perspective, I'm dealing with this from a human perspective. Are we not curious people? And the next morning when they got up, or that night, it was so grievous. And the wailing was so heavy and so grievous that Pharaoh said, hey, go tell those Hebrews to go. Get up out of here. Can I tell you something, class? Can I tell you something, class? The Most High is what? The same? Yesterday, today, and forever. Let me tell you something. The day is going to come that it's going to be so grievous that the nations are going to tell Israel to go. Go. And everybody that's associated with Israel, I need you to go. And the reason I need you to go is because I don't need to be conflicted with your God any longer. So go. So the Most High says, this happens to be the day of Passover, Pesach, 14th day of Nisan. I'm not going to be eating any lamb tonight. And there's a reason why I'm not going to be eating any lamb tonight. It's Passover. Any day except for Passover, I'll eat lamb. But not anymore, according to Scripture. And the reason why I'm not is because the lamb that was offered as the Passover offering had to be without blemish, and it couldn't be slaughtered in a way that was not kosher. So if I'm eating lamb tonight in celebration of Passover, I'm also trying to offer an offering to him, because the offering is about the meat, not the matzah, not the marrow, not the greens, not the potato salad, not the yams, not anything else. It's about the meat. The meat is the offering of sacrifice. Deuteronomy chapter 16. So I don't know where that lamb came from in the butcher shop. I don't know how he was killed. I don't know what they did to him. I don't know if he had a defect. So I can't say that I'm eating lamb in honor of Passover. No, I can't do that. Not anymore. I can't. I'm gonna let you all do you. Now watch this now. What I'm saying to you, Beacom. Beacom raised an important issue on this subject in class last night. That if I participate in the Passover offering in honoring of Passover, eating lamb for that specific requirement, I would be in violation of Torah. How is that so? Because the offering would not be holy. And the offering is not being presented in the place where he has placed his name. Deuteronomy chapter 16. Chapter 12 is specific to Israel because there's going to only be one Exodus like that. Only going to be one. There's only going to be one requirement, that the lamb be slaughtered, put on the post, you go in your house, because why? I've got an event happening. And I need you to be in your house, because this event that's happening, I want to spare you from, because when it's all over, Six hundred and 3,000 men of Israel, not including women and children and flock. I want you to get this picture, y'all. They living in Goshen, 603,000. We ready to go? Get out of here. Okay, we gone. Get to the water. We got to go. Most High goes. And the nations, watch this now. Look at the picture. The Most High said, when I redeem Israel, I will bring judgment on the nations. The nation, the government, wound up in the river. What did the Most High do? He executed judgment on the government. He's going to do it again. Israel, I want you to do something else for me. I want you to go into your cupboards in your house, and I want you to remove all the Hamas, all the leaven. What is it? Claiborne baking powder? Claiborne baking powder? Yeah. And we used to get Fleischmann's yeast. You got to get that in your cupboard and your ice box. All that stuff that causes dough to rise. He said, I want you to get it out of your house. No, I want you to get it off of your property. Now, we heard, it has been said, it has been said that, oh, I just take that and put it in my garage until the Feast of Matzah is over. That ain't what the scripture said. The scripture said, I want you to get it out of your house and off of your property and from around you. And any man who does not do that shall be cut off from the nation of Israel. Now, why is this such a strong mitzvah? These 7 things does the Most High hate. One of those, lying tongue, one who commits confusion amongst the brethren, and one other is that a haughty spirit. What's a haughty spirit? A haughty spirit is a spirit that's puffed up. Think I'm somebody. I have become bigger than you. And a proud spirit. He said, I want that gone. I don't like that. And I need you, Israel, to get it out of your house as a remembrance of the fact that I don't like it. And let me tell you how important it is to me that you do that. If you don't do it, Israel, I said Israel. Anybody else, you can do anything you want to do. But you, Israel, get it out of your house. If you don't get it out of your house, I'm telling you now, you'll be cut off from the nation of Israel, meaning that I'm not even going to take the time to resurrect you. And he says, this shall be a permanent regulation wherever you are. The exile does not excuse you from this. So, we have another feast day. We have a feast day that's called the Feast of Matzah. Why do we have the Feast of Matzah on the next day? Because in chapter 12, and thereabouts, when Israel got ready to go, what they did was they packed up their dough that didn't have time to rise, and they carried their dough with them to the other side. Now watch, follow the narrative. If they had to pack up their dough, it wasn't cooked on the day of the feast of Passover. They didn't cook it. They didn't have time. Okay. When they got on the other side of the Sin River, whatever, they passed over. You know that land, that the water passed over. They got on the other side. The ladies had the tambourine. Miriam, as a matter of fact, Moshe's sister, she started the praise and worship. She looked back and saw the nations destroyed. And when they got on the other side, they celebrated the Feast of Matzah. Next day. 7 days. So the text says that you are supposed to eat matzah for 7 days. The first day is supposed to be a holy convocation, which we'll celebrate on the morrow. And then 7 days later, we'll close it with a celebration. The process will get that which causes our spirit to be haughty and lifted up out of our eyesight, out of my mind. No cake, not cake that's made with yeast. No bread, not bread that's made with yeast. No hot dog buns, no hamburger buns, no toast. Boy, I love that sourdough bread. Oops, no sourdough bread. No English muffins. Matzah. And when it's all over, and I'm through, when it's all over, Israel will be able to look back and sing a song. How I got over. My soul looks back and wonders how I got over. And the Most High said to you and I, look at you, Israel. He said, I brought you out with a strong hand. Nobody brought you out by, I want you to know something. I want you to know something. He didn't say that I had somebody call my son to bring you out. He didn't say that. He said to Israel, Israel, I want you to know something. I am Yahweh Eloheka, the Elohim of Israel, who brought you out of the land of slavery. And I brought you out with a strong arm. I brought you out. You know how we're going to escape this pandemic? The strong arm of the Most High. I know my words are not what a lot of you want to hear, but I can't do anything else. But worship. And my worship is not indicative of a song. My worship is indicative of a lifestyle and a way of life. I bow in humble submission to the God of Israel, who has kept me whole and healthy to this day. Have I had some issues in my body? Yes. I had one that should have scared the bejesus out of me. And I got to tell you, there was a time earlier in my life when I went to the doctor and they'd seen the results of my labs and said, oh, you have prostate cancer. Scared the bejesus out of me. The word cancer has a way of doing that. This last time when they looked at me and said, well, Mr. Holman, you have lung cancer. Startled me for a minute. And then I thought about it. I go, okay, Sister Loretta, how do we handle this? Am I going to die? No. Oh, okay. I'm good. No. You're not going to die if we do A. What's that? We're going to have to go in where it is, take it out. You know, y'all don't know me. I'm going to tell you about me. Tell you about your rabbi. You need to go to the lab and give us some labs. We're through. Oh, okay, you're through. Okay. When I first went to Africa in 2010, I had to go get about 13 shots. We're through, Mr. Holman. Oh, okay. I don't want to see it. I don't want to feel it. Scared to death of doctors, hospitals. But I'm coming back to Goshen now, okay? Because living in Goshen, when they told me I had to go through all this, Brother John, I was calm as I could be. I was just as calm. And you know why I was calm? Because you people in Goshen were praying for me. And I knew that my righteousness with the Most High, that it wasn't time for me to leave here yet. I knew that. So I've had my health issues. Another song. Another song? Come on, y'all know it. I've been delivered, praise the Lord. I've been delivered, praise the Lord. But the word should be, I've been delivered, praise Yah. Because Yah delivered me every time. And my testimony is this as I close today. If He could deliver me out of the situations that could have taken my life, and I'm still here, and I'm happy, and I'm healthy. Have I done certain things? Yes, I have. Not for me. I've done them for other people. Because when I come around people, I don't want people. I did it for you. I did it for the fact that I don't want to be stuck in my house for the rest of my life. Can't go nowhere. I don't want nobody asking me no questions about whatever. I say, hey, here it is. There you go. When I get ready to go to Hawaii, when I get ready to go back to Africa, trust me, they're going to ask you the question. And I don't want to spend 14 days. I don't want to spend 14 days of my vacation time quarantined up in no house to prove to you that I don't have COVID. That ain't a vacation. Understand what I'm saying? But my confidence and my trust is in the fact that I know that the Most High is still able. And if He delivered me from one thing, He can deliver me from another. Had another scary incident in my life. Had to do with my heart. I really should have been scared. John, I should have been scared. Sean, my son, remember the day that I was sitting in my chair teaching, and AFib hit me at the rate of over 280 beats a minute. Sister Mary kept telling me, you need to stop, you need to quit. And I said, no, I got to finish. When I finished, y'all took me home, took my blood pressure. My heart was flying so fast that I could have been at 80,000 feet. How are we going to fix it? Well, we got to go into your heart. Calvin. We got to go into your heart, and we're going to have to cauterize the area where the AFib is causing the problem. How are you going to do that? We're going to do a surgical procedure. Can I tell you a little secret? The day that I went to the hospital for that procedure, I was totally at peace. I'm talking about Goshen, y'all. Mr. Holman, can you get up off the bed and walk? Wait a minute, I thought you all was going to roll me up and... No, we need you to get up and walk and go get on the operating table. Okay. All right. Got up on the operating table. The anesthesiologist started asking me some questions. So, Mr. Holman, what do you do? Well, I'm a rabbi. What's that? I teach. Oh, Mr. Holman, you're in recovery. What? It's all over? Yeah, it's all over. You did fine. You're going to be okay. That was in 2016, I think it was. Guess what? My heart has just been boop, 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 boop. Every now and then it gets a little anxious, but nothing that brings me to my knees. What am I saying to you all? I'm saying to you that when you and I live under the covering of the Most High, He will protect you, He will bring you out, and He will keep you healthy, and He will keep you strong. And you don't have to worry about nothing. Now, watch this now. This is the only time you have to worry. You have to worry if in your life you have not been living your life according to the Father's word. Now you got to worry. But if you've been doing that, live your life. Enjoy it. Have fun. Know that the Most High is with you. He's going to protect you. He's going to cover you. And to Hebrews in exile, I say to you, turn from idolatry back to the Father's way, and He'll also deliver you out of slavery. And I'm not talking about the slavery of men. I'm talking about the slavery of the dogma of religion, and bring you to a way of life. Yeberekaka. Vaish. Yahweh Vaish. Baraka. Ya'er Yahweh Panai Baleka Bekanuka. Yasa Yahweh Panai Baleka Bayasham Laka. Shalom. I pray that Yahweh will bless you and keep you. I pray that Yahweh will make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. And I pray that Yahweh will lift up his face toward you and give you peace. Shalom.